The untold Viking saga of Harald Hardrada. Harald Sigurdsson was born into a world of war. At just 15 years old, he stood beside his half-brother, King Olaf II of Norway, in a desperate battle to reclaim their throne. That battle sticklisted ended in blood. Olaf was killed, and Harald was forced to flee, wounded and hunted. But that was only the beginning. Across frozen rivers and dangerous forests, Harald journeyed east to Kiev and Rus, where he found refuge in the court of Grand Prince Yaroslav the Wise. But he wasn't content to simply survive. Harald had a fire in him that demanded glory, riches, and revenge. From there, he made his way south to Constantinople, the heart of the Byzantine Empire. In this land of gold-domed churches and imperial splendor, Harald joined the feared Varangian Gardan elite unit of foreign warriors, sworn to protect the emperor. He was no ordinary soldier. Harald quickly rose through the ranks. He fought rebels in Bulgaria, crushed uprisings in Anatolia, and even led expeditions across the Mediterranean. Some say he traveled as far as Jerusalem. In Sicily, he helped conquer cities. In North Africa, he fought under burning suns. He saw cultures and wars that most Norsemen could never imagine. With every campaign, he earned gold and lots of it. But Harald didn't trust banks or emperors. He sent his wealth north, hiding it in secret places for the day he would return. And return he did. By 1045, Harald was ready to reclaim his birthright. Norway had a new ruler, but Harald came home not just as a warrior but as a legend. He allied with a Danish prince, and together they forced the sitting king to step down. In 1046, Harald Hardrada, Harald the Hard Ruler, became king of Norway. He ruled with an iron fist. He crushed rebellions, taxed heavily, and challenged Danish rule across the sea. For nearly 20 years, he dominated the north. But it wasn't enough. Harald wanted one last prize, the crown of England. In 1066, he got his chance. The English throne was in dispute after the death of Edward the Confessor. Harald believed he had a claim, and more importantly, he saw an opportunity. With a massive fleet and thousands of warriors, he sailed across the North Sea just as his Viking ancestors had. He landed in the north of England and crushed local forces at the Battle of Fulford. Victory was within reach. But just days later, the new English King Harold Godwinson marched his army 200 miles north in lightning speed. The two armies met at Stamford Bridge. Harold's forces were caught off guard. Many had left their armor behind in the heat. The battle was brutal. At first, a single Viking held the bridge, slaying dozens before falling. Then chaos erupted. Swords clashed, arrows rained down, and men fell in heaps. Harald, towering and fierce, fought at the front with a massive two-handed axe. His presence was unstoppable until an arrow pierced his throat. He died, standing, the last great Viking king. His death marked the end of an era. The Viking Age, born in fire and raids, died on that English field. But Harald Hardrada's life was no mere tale of conquest. It was a saga of exile and return, of far-off lands and fearless battles, of a man who lived like a myth and died like a legend.